Well, it's Saturday, June 25th. Rainy day. Not too cool. It's been in the 70s. We had some really warm weather recently, but pretty nice now. But I just got a letter in the mail. I got a letter from an attorney in Canada. Attorney from Canada. And I guess I have some relative there that I've never met, never heard of, don't know anything about them. But she had left me $10.8 million. So I got that going for me, which is, boy, that's handy. You know, it's first of the month's coming up, got bills to pay. That 10.8, that's going to come in real handy. There's a little catch. I guess I got to send them some money so they can mail me the check. So we'll have to go ahead and do that, because I need that money. So that's a kind of a highlight in my day. But, there's a lot going on. Boy, we got all kinds of political stuff happening and all kinds of good, bad, and mostly not good. Bad and worse is what we have. But I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about today is kind of an anniversary. It's a year since we bought our 2 electric cars. And I was just going to talk a little bit about the good we found out and the not so good we found out. And, I had a Nissan Leaf 3 years ago, so this isn't new. But, I just bought my wife a tricycle. An electric trike, e-trike. And I got to thinking, I don't own any gas things anymore. I've got a weed whip that's gas, and I have a pump that I use to pump out my pond every spring, a trash pump. That's gas. And that's it. That's it. Lawnmowers, edge trimmers, chainsaw, all that stuff is all battery, everything. And snowblower, the whole works. Everything I own is electric because they always start. They have generally more power than the gas ones do. And winterizing is easy. You just park them. You do nothing. There's very little to no maintenance on anything. And as it turns out, the cars have kind of been the same way. I have added windshield washer fluid and, washed them and that kind of thing. But other than that, zero maintenance. I think I put 13,000 miles on this one, on my Chevy Bolt. And on the Niro, the Kia Niro, we did about 11. And we're planning a trip to Moose Lake, which is in northern Minnesota. And that's about a 200 and some mile drive, which we could make easily. Charge it up in the evening, and in the morning we could take off and get all the way up there without a problem. And the whole trip would cost $7. And then we can charge it for free up there. So a 400-mile trip is going to charge us. It's going to cost between $7 and $9. I'll put it that way. We're probably going to stop, part way for dinner because we're leaving at like 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll drive for 3 hours, 2.5 hours, stop for lunch. And as long as we're stopped, I'm going to plug it in and charge. And, that's about it. So you kind of plan along those charging, along the way, just to get the battery up so that you have plenty to chase around and that kind of thing. And we could plug in up there, and we will, but rather than sponge off of their electricity, I'll go ahead and just pay some. So anyway, that's fine. I can honestly say I have no regrets. I have not found anything I don't like. There are limitations because of the size, because we opted for this is a small, mine is a very small, I would call it a mini SUV, and my wife says what I would call a mid-size to small. Mid-size, I think, is about what I'd call it. And there's limitations as far as what you can haul in them. As far as what you can pull, I can pull a pop-up camper behind this without a problem. Her car, the same thing. But I got hitches on both of them now, so I can put bike racks on the back. I got a little trailer that I pull behind this one so we can haul refuge out to the city leaf dump and that kind of thing. And yeah, that's probably the biggest problem we have is they're just small. You can buy larger vehicles. You're going to pay more money, but these fit in the garage so nicely. I have a hard time getting a car that fits in our garage because the guy who built our garage only made it 20 feet deep. Well, you put anything in the front of the garage, you can't get a normal car in there. Where these fit in there nicely. We got the refrigerator up front. I got my camper that I pull behind my motorcycle, sits in front of this car, and everything works out just great. So all the way around, I would have to say for our type of lifestyle, this has been a real bonus, and it's a great move. Money-wise, it's amazing. I kind of try to keep track of what it's costing, but it's hard because, you have other utilities and you've got refrigerators and all this stuff going. What I have noticed is our electric bill went up during the winter, but my wife runs a space heater pretty much 24/7. And as soon as the weather warmed up, our electric bill went down to the point where it was before we got electric cars. So, for best I could figure, we're spending anywhere between $20 and $40 a month, depends on how much you drive, on charging 2 electric cars. I mean, it's just so incredibly cheap. I know when I had my Cadillac, I was going through at least $100 a month, and my wife was going through $30 to $40 a month. Now combined, like I say, we're under 40, easy. I'm guessing we're closer to $25 for the pair. So money-wise, it's just been a real plus. And I would have to say it was a good move for us. Would it work for everybody? Well, it depends. If you're going to be pulling stuff, no. And if you drive, 400 miles a day, first thing you need is a different job. The second thing you need is maybe something that will go further. I don't know. The advances in the electronics and the batteries and everything, it's just a matter of a year or so. They already have cars that are hitting the 500 and 600 mile mark. Of course, they're not here in the United States or in China, because China's about a decade ahead of us as far as technology. And like all our batteries, they all come from China. And now with the tariffs and stuff, everything's kind of up in the air. But anyway, yeah, I would do it again. My next car, if we live long enough to have cars again, other cars, I will buy an electric car, no doubt. I would never buy a gas car again, never. And, as a mechanical guy, I worked on cars my whole life, motorcycles. I mean, I was deep into gasoline and oil and the mechanics. It's just so nice to just get in, power up, drive, park. It's really that. That's my driving experience now, is I just drive and I park it. And, it's almost like having a neighbor with a boat. You go fishing and stuff, and then they take care of all the nonsense. And you just enjoy the fish you caught. So it's kind of like that. Been a good experience. Like I say, except for the size limitation, there's nothing negative. It's been quite wondrous. So, that is my update on the 2 cars. Which one do I like better? I actually think the Nero is a little bit nicer car. Just because it has some extra features. It does have lane assist and all that, which I turned it all off because it's a nuisance more than a help. But it's a little bigger car. It's more comfortable. And I think the climate controls and all that are a little bit better than what I have in this Chevy. I'd say if I had to get rid of one of the two cars, I would probably reluctantly get rid of the Chevy. You know, I don't know as far as efficiency. They both have the same battery pack size. The mileage is about the same. You know, that way horsepower is about the same. They have plenty of zip. You know, it's a 200 horsepower electric motor, but it's got 220 foot-pounds of torque. So they cruise pretty good. They're pretty good. You know, you think about it, I had a camper, a 30-foot motorhome with a 454 in it, which produced 235 horsepower. A 454 with 235 horsepower. And these little cars have almost the same power. It's amazing. So, with that being said, I am going to terminate here and go home. I had to get reflectors for my wife's trike and a Liquid Boy Scout. Got to have Liquid Boy Scout for camping. We're going on a camping trip, so got to have that. So we'll catch you later with another video.